In the realm of security, nuclear threats are a reality we cannot ignore. As we move forward in this age of advanced technology, the potential for nuclear threats becomes an ever-increasing concern. This concern is not just relegated to the domain of world superpowers, but also extends to rogue states and non-state actors, including terrorists who might employ dirty bombs to wreak havoc. North Korea, for instance, is a nation that continues to develop its nuclear capabilities, raising eyebrows across the globe. The international community watches with bated breath as each test brings them closer to having a fully operational nuclear arsenal. It's a sobering reminder of the destructive power that could be unleashed at the push of a button. But what exactly does a nuclear bomb entail? Imagine a fireball, brighter and hotter than the sun, expanding outward at an unimaginable speed. This fireball emits a shock wave, flattening everything in its path, followed by intense radiation that can poison living beings in the environment. Then comes the fallout, a deadly cocktail of radioactive particles propelled into the atmosphere by the explosion, only to rain down, contaminating large swaths of land. The fallout can lead to radiation sickness in the short term and cancer in the long term, among other health complications. The sheer destructive potential of nuclear weapons is horrifying. It's a threat that can annihilate cities, disrupt ecosystems, and cause long-term harm to survivors and future generations. Yet the purpose of understanding these grim realities is not to instill fear, but to raise awareness. The more we comprehend about these threats, the better equipped we are to advocate for peace, champion disarmament, and support measures to prevent such catastrophes. Grasping the magnitude of nuclear threats helps us prepare for the worst. So let's continue this journey of understanding, because knowledge is our best defense in the face of such formidable threats. A clear comprehension of nuclear weapons is crucial to understanding the scale of the threat they pose. Nuclear weapons aren't all the same. They come in different types and sizes, each packing a unique punch. The most commonly recognized are atomic bombs, like those used in World War II, and hydrogen bombs, which are up to 1,000 times more powerful. Atomic bombs rely on a process called nuclear fission, where heavy atoms like uranium or plutonium are split to release energy. On the other hand, hydrogen bombs, also known as thermonuclear bombs, use both fission and fusion, the process that powers the sun, to create a far more devastating blast. These explosions don't just cause massive destruction through heat and shock waves. They also release a form of energy we don't often think about: ionizing radiation. This type of radiation is so powerful it can strip electrons from atoms, damaging living cells and leading to sickness or even death. It's what makes nuclear weapons so uniquely dangerous and why they're considered weapons of mass destruction. It's important to note that the radiation from a nuclear explosion doesn't stick around forever. It decays over time, becoming less harmful. However, the initial burst of radiation can be deadly, and the fallout, radioactive particles that fall to the ground after the explosion, can contaminate large areas for weeks, months, or even years. Understanding the mechanics of nuclear weapons and the dangers they pose is a sobering reality, but it's also a necessary one. In a world where these weapons exist, knowledge is the first step towards preparedness. With knowledge comes power, and in this case, the power to potentially save lives. Survival in the face of nuclear threats is not a matter of chance, but of preparedness. When the unthinkable happens, your first priority should be to seek shelter. This isn't a run-of-the-mill thunderstorm we're talking about, it's a nuclear event. The destructive effects of a nuclear bomb include a fireball, shockwave, and a subsequent fallout of radiation. If you're caught outside when the bomb detonates, do not look at the flash or fireball, it could blind you. Instead, try to find the nearest shelter, preferably a basement or the middle of a large building. The goal is to put as many walls and as much concrete, brick, or soil between you and the radioactive fallout as possible. You're aiming for at least a meter of dirt or 10 centimeters of steel. Once you've found a suitable shelter, stay put. The most dangerous fallout radiation is short-lived and decreases rapidly in the first few hours after an explosion. It's recommended that you stay sheltered for at least 24 hours to avoid the worst of the radiation. While you're hunkered down, it's important to avoid eating or drinking anything that could have been contaminated by fallout. This includes any food or water that was not sealed in a can or jar before the fallout arrived. And remember, radiation is invisible. You can't see, taste, smell, or feel it, so it's better to be safe than sorry. Protection is the other half of the survival equation. If you're in a situation where you can't avoid exposure to radiation, wearing protective clothing such as a raincoat or rubber gloves can help. It's also crucial to know what to do once you're safe. Remove your outer layer of clothing and wash any exposed skin with soap and water if it's available. Your survival may depend on your readiness to act and your knowledge of what to do. Don't wait for the worst to happen. Equip yourself with knowledge and plan ahead, because in the face of a nuclear threat, every second counts. In the aftermath of a nuclear detonation, fallout is a deadly concern. The fallout, a mix of dust and radioactive particles, blankets the surrounding areas, creating a hazardous environment. But it's important to remember that the nature of this fallout radiation is short-lived. Despite its initial intensity, fallout radiation decreases rapidly. Within the first few hours, it's at its most lethal. Yet, as the hours turn into days, its intensity diminishes significantly. By the end of the first week, the radiation levels would have dropped to a fraction of their initial intensity. However, these initial hours and days are critical, and your actions during this period can significantly impact your survival. One key to navigating this perilous period is understanding the role of prevailing winds. The direction and speed of the wind can influence the spread and concentration of the fallout. Knowing the pattern of these winds can help you anticipate the movement of the fallout and find safer areas or seek better shelter. However, remember that these winds can be unpredictable and change rapidly. Therefore, it's crucial to stay informed. Regularly updating yourself on the situation, either through a battery-operated radio or other reliable sources, can be a lifesaver. It's also important to note that while fallout is dangerous, it's not invisible. It often appears as gritty dust or sand-like particles. If you see these particles or detect a metallic taste in your mouth, it's likely you're experiencing fallout. Immediately seek shelter, preferably underground or in the middle of a building away from windows and doors. And remember, time, distance, and shielding are your best friends in this situation. The more time you can put between the detonation and exposure, the more distance you can put between yourself and the fallout. And the more solid material you can put between you and the radiation, the better your chances of survival. Informed action during fallout can be the difference between life and death. Knowledge, preparation, and vigilance are your best defenses in the face of such a threat. Knowledge is our greatest ally in the face of nuclear threats. It's crucial to stay aware and informed of the potential dangers and the best ways to protect ourselves. We live in an age where information is at our fingertips, and it's our responsibility to make use of it. The more we know, the better prepared we can be, and preparation is key when it comes to nuclear threats. We've included links in the description below that will lead you to the articles that provided valuable information for this video. These articles offer a deeper understanding of nuclear threats, their potential impact, and the necessary steps for survival. We encourage you to explore these resources and expand your knowledge further. A special thank you goes to Popular Mechanics for their insightful article that helped shape this video. Remember, staying informed isn't just about knowing the facts, it's about understanding them, questioning them, and making decisions based on them. So dig deeper, ask questions, and stay alert. Remember, staying informed is staying safe. We've delved into the depths of nuclear threats and survival, but the learning shouldn't stop here. Our insights were enriched by resources like the one from Popular Mechanics, and we're grateful for their contribution. You can find the link to their informative article, among others, in the description box below. But remember, to access the full description, you'll need to click on the word .more, and on a smartphone you might need to do this a few times. Unfortunately, this feature isn't available on your TV, so you'll have to switch to a laptop or mobile device for the full experience. Our journey into the world of nuclear threats has been enlightening, and we hope it has been for you too. There's more to learn, more to understand, so keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep expanding your knowledge. Thank you for your time today. Stay informed, stay prepared, and most importantly, stay safe.